Hey everyone, and welcome to the Budget Boi RC channel. Today I am going to be stiffening my front diff on my Tamiya TT01. So I have a race this week. During practice I found my car was sliding out a bit on the corners. So to get my car to just pull a bit better out through the corners, I am going to tighten the front diff. Now just keep in mind, this is no stock Tamiya TT01. You'll see that it actually has parts of a TT01E, even some TT02 parts, so it may be slightly different on your build. And also the rules may be different where you are. So I'm going to be using what we call in our country press stick. I'm going to fill up the diff with press stick, which actually locks it. So some rules may need a bit of play in your front diff. I don't know if it's legal where you are. Just make sure you check your rules, your local area. Cool, enjoy the video. Okay, so you're also going to need something to clean your diff. I'm going to use toilet paper, some earbuds. Okay, so the TT01, unlike the TT02, the front diff opens, well, the diff opens in the front. Okay, so first I'm going to have to take off the bumper. I'm going to have to take out these 3 screws and these screws, and that should allow me to access my diff. Well, let's get that done. And this front bumper, this piece is actually from a TT02. And this is for TT01E. I use that to help stabilize my steering. It's a bit of a Frankenbuild. Alright. Now I've got a hex over here, and the rest are stars. It is freezing cold here in South Africa, so my hands are barely moving, but they're moving. I've got a mixed set of screws everywhere, which makes my job just a bit more fun. These are option 1 shocks that I got from Tamiya, for like 200 Rand. I think that's around $15, I'm not too sure. Not something I'd actually recommend. I had to mod the hell out of these things to get them to work efficiently. Other 2 screws I forgot to mention are underneath here as well. I'm going to show you in a sec. Just get these 3 out. If you find that you strip your screws with these coarse threads, you can often get away with a finer thread screw, and then it holds again if you're lucky. Okay, so the other 2 screws are, yeah, you can really see everything is going wonkers here. Loose my goose. And that screw was extremely loose, and that screw. It's always good to make sure your screws are tightened before a race. Screw coming loose can cost you your race, obviously. So now I can remove this bottom piece. And I can carefully do this. Just pull that out. And my front diff is now open, exposed. So what I'd do as well, just to help me out, I like to put a little marker on whichever side has the teeth, just to make sure I put the diff in the right way, so I don't have to do it twice. So I don't want all my other goodies coming out and going everywhere. I just need my front diff. So I want to make sure these hopefully stay. Oh, there goes my bone, but that doesn't matter. The other dog bone's going to be loose. Here's my front diff. So I've originally got a thick grease in here. It didn't stiffen it enough for my liking. So now I'm going to have the fun job of wiping all this icky grease, cleaning out this diff. I'm not going to go too overboard with cleaning it. It's not too necessary. But yeah, I need most of the grease off of this thing. Hence the toilet paper and the earbuds. Now we're going to open up our actual diff. I like to loosen them first, the screws. Just a bit. And the inside of your diff. The TT01 comes with steel gears on the inside. TT02 is plastic. Probably made it lighter that way, I don't know. So I'm just gonna grab screwdriver thingy-mabob, also known as a flat. I'm just gonna get these icky things out. Try and avoid getting everything full of grease. There's all grooves here. You can usually fit in with that carefully. Just nudge it out little by little until it pops out. Oh, the joys of working with grease. This is just lovely. I originally had this set up prior, but I like to experiment, so tried out this thick grease in here. And it didn't work so well. Once my tires got warm, it was a bit better. Quite easy to drive. But, you know, in our races, they're not super long. You don't have time to first warm up your tires. This class, we're not using tire warmers or anything. So, just a bit of compound and the right setup, and you hitting corners and making good times. That's what we need. From the get-go, you know, not halfway in the race. Now, like I said, I don't know if this is legal where you are in your racing class. I know that a lot of the time, in a more stricter rule set, you're gonna need to have some bit of play in your diff. It has to move. This pretty much locks it. It in theory has play, but not really. So it in essence acts as a spool. All these tips and all these things I'm telling you, I've learned from the pros. I'm a good listener. So I've only been racing for a few months, to be honest. I've already won a couple of trophies. And I've really expedited my learning just by listening to these pros. Sorry, I see I'm cleaning the stuff on the side. If you hear any weird noises, I live in a zoo. I've got a parrot, 2 cats, a fish. Yeah, my parrot's a little bit obnoxious. Likes to be involved. You may have already met one of my kitties. Oh, getting grease out of here. So much fun. So much fun. Excuse me. So I've got earbuds to help me with this crappy situation. Excuse my French. Please don't ban me for saying that small word, YouTube. I've also got a dustbin just on the side so I can just clean and chuck, clean and chuck, clean and chuck. If you want to go the extra mile, you're welcome to do your soapy water thing. For me, that's just not going to make any difference. There's a bit of residue or not, the Diff is still going to stay stiff. What I'm about to do, yeah. But this is probably 2/3 of the job, is just cleaning this damn Diff. And I think that'll suffice in there. I know someone's probably eventually going to ask me about... I put a piece of glass in my hand and I didn't do my physio many years ago. And I can't bend a thumb like that. Surprise. I'm a freak. These I'll leave more nice and greasy. Strip lube. Yeah, it's a light. There we go, it's clean, hallelujah. Yes. Yuck, 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 yuck. La grise. Okay. In South Africa, we call this press stick. Okay, we use this to stick stuff up on the wall. I don't know what the hell you call it in America or whatever. This is it. This is what I'm going to stick inside my Diff. Okay. Grab a piece. Give it a bit of a mushy wooshy. Okay, I'm going to start this part of my Diff, I think. Yeah. So keep in mind you can't put too much in and then you won't be able to close your Diff. And you got components that are going to come in here and lock in there so that you can transfer that torque and whatnot. Squishy, squishy. Take a little bit more in. So we're trying to just stop these gears from actually moving much in here. So this guy, this is the wrong way. Okay, this is the correct way. get that wrong, you're going to have trouble closing your diff and getting everything to fit. So. Oh my goodness, my camera's focus has gone in its boos in. There we go. Holy crap, how much of that I filmed and you could actually see it, I don't know. Now you're going to stick this in there. See, it has those grooves. You're going to squish this bad boy in there. Squish, squish, squish. Try and get the gears to kind of connect. Yeah. Go. More press stick. Make sure this next part's like thin, or you might struggle to close it. Can you stop, my boy? Sorry, my parrot wants to be part of the video. Yes. Yes, we hear you. We hear you. There we go. So let's stick these in now. This one might be a little bit, yeah. Check, they can hardly move. But my diff is not sticking open because I'm not screwed closed. So let's put that back in there. Nice and snug. Yeah, let's get the screws back in. Try not to tighten these too much. It can cause this thing to warp. Obviously make sure they're tight, but don't overdo it. Just excuse my mascot in the background. Oh, goodness gracious me. You see that warp? Oh, now I've got some hair on here. The TT01 has actually got 1, 2, 3, 4 screws. And I think they did that to compensate for this slight inconvenience here. I may have overstuck the press stick a little. I'm just gonna help it get into its happy place. Sure these are good. Don't overdo those because then it also adds to that wonkiness. Whew. That ain't perfect, but Joys of having little kittens. So I'm just going to take this excess a little bit out here. Alright, so we've just locked the diff. Ish. Cool. I'm going to stick my bearings back on there. 2. These bad boys in there. Boom. Boom. Now this part you got to make sure you get your dog bones in nicely. Okay. Here's our dog bones. This part can be, I suppose that's how you do it. All have their own ways. So I know which side my diff, which way around my diff goes. That side in. Then bring in there. Oops, I lost the other one now. She's in. Boom. I'm going to seal the deal with a diff cover. This is to be in the front. Okay. We have our diff cover back on. Okay, so there's no real, but you can do this in whichever order you like. But I'm going to start just getting my diff all closed so it doesn't fall over the place. Yeah. Come on, there we go. Come on, you know where your home is. There we go. There we go. Good screw. Good screw. You know where you belong. Holy. Make sure your car's secure on the stand. Tight is tight, don't over tighten these, otherwise we'll be replacing parts because you stripped everything. At the same time, you don't want it to loose because while you're racing, you don't want a screw just falling out. And quite an inconvenience. So this is all mods. This is for TT01E, this mod. This diff cover is from a TT01E. Slightly different than the stock TT01. Stock TT01 is like this. And this entire shock mount piece, along with this, is all connected to the actual cover. It's separated on the E. Actually screw it in there. I actually prefer that, to be honest. Okay. Done. See, pretty much locked. Where's my back? Loose my goose. Just a little bit about the setup. Currently running some Team Power slicks. Actually one of my favorites to run on track. Okay. Our class is limited to a torque tuned. Okay, we got a 55-25 gear ratio in here, which is the max on the TT01. A Hobby Wing 1060 brushed ESC. I've got a FlySky GT5 with a FS BS6 receiver. Obviously you can see I added a carbon fiber brace across, carbon fiber front. This also just allowed me to get my shocks in a different position. The shocks are option one, cheap Chinese shocks. To get them spec'd for racing, I had to do a lot of modifications, quite advanced. So maybe just go with some Tamiya shocks. You'll see they're inverted at the back. They do not fit this way around with these, I don't even know what to call those things. So, you know, could probably get others, but you'll have to see what fits. Honestly, had no problem with these inverted shocks. Okay. I've also got a overkill 40 kg servo in here, which is very slow actually for crawlers, but in this class, we're not running high speeds. I don't need to turn in so fast. It's been working excellent for me. And a Team Powers fan just to cool down the motor. All right, if you want to get some more content, please like and subscribe so I can keep making you some tutorials and some funny videos of me crashing and bashing and doing things Budget Boi style.